Most men are wasting their time trying to lose fat. They go all in on cardio, they slash calories, they end up tired, hungry, and skinny fat, and arguably in a worse position than they were when they started. If you're a busy dad trying to get lean, healthy, and strong without living on the treadmill, this video is going to hit home for you. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through why cardio fails for long-term fat loss, why building muscle is the real game changer you need to focus on, what to do instead of marathon training and starvation diets, and a simple weekly plan that actually works for dads. So, let's get into it. Look, most guys do two things when they want to drop body fat. They start hammering cardio and they cut their calories as low as they possibly can. And guess what? Both of these fail long term, especially when you combine them. It's a recipe for failure. We're going to focus on the first mistake in this video, which is excessive cardio. Long distance running is the one that most people resort to, right? If you are trying to drop body fat and keep it off, cardio alone isn't going to solve this problem in the long term. Fat loss isn't just about burning calories. It's about changing your body composition, increasing lean muscle mass whilst decreasing body fat. And cardio sucks for building muscle. It's not the tool in your toolbox to build lean muscle. Cardio sucks for building muscle. So, why is building muscle such a big deal if fat loss is your overall goal? Muscle is the metabolic engine of your body. More muscle equals more calories burned at rest. More muscle equals higher amount of food that you can consume while staying lean. More muscle equals more resilient joints and bones, less chance of injuries as you get older, and the ability to do cool shit as well. If your kid says to you, "Dad, bang out some pull-ups at the park," and you haven't got the upper body strength to do it, that's because you lack strength and muscle in your upper body, or you're too fat. So, makes sense? More muscle, less body fat, win-win. It makes fat loss easier and more sustainable if you focus on building muscle. When you don't build muscle whilst you're trying to diet, here's what happens. You end up looking skinny fat. So slim arms, soft belly, no definition, no real muscle, but you've still got a little bit of a belly, right? You have to rely on more cardio just to maintain your weight. So you end up going down this path of you just need to do more. You haven't got the time to focus on that if you're a dad with a job and you've got your family and your career and you've got other things outside that you want to focus on. You haven't got the time to just be pounding the pavement all the time. But you end up putting yourself in a position where that has to become the norm. So if you stop doing all that cardio, the fat's going to end up piling back on fast. So let's dig into the reasons cardio fails as a fat loss tool. It doesn't build muscle, which we've already alluded to, right? The weight loss is dependent on doing more and more volume. So if you miss a few sessions, you start to slide backwards. High volume cardio increases cortisol, which is your stress hormone. So that can also lead to fat gain, especially around your belly. It's unsustainable for most dads. Work, life, and eventually, potentially your joints are already hurting, your knees give you grip, your feet are sore, etc. Too much cardio becomes catabolic, meaning you potentially lose muscle along the way. Now, the caveat for this is if you're strength training as well as doing cardio, that's not going to happen, right? But if you're just doing cardio, it could happen, which is not a good thing. You potentially end up with joint pain, chronic fatigue, and still not the body you want. If you're not strengthening the muscles that are involved in running and doing different cardio activities, it's going to lead to problems. Whereas if you are strengthening those areas in the gym and still want to do that stuff, that's okay, but you need to combine it. I am not anti-running or anti-cardio, not at all. Cardio is very, very important. They have their place for cardiovascular health, longevity, and being able to chase your kids around the garden without needing a lie down after or gassing out after 10 minutes. It's very important to do cardio, but it's not the solution to long-term fat loss. It's not how you're going to build a lean, muscular, high-energy body, at least not on its own, okay? So here's the problem that most guys don't see. Running creates a temporary calorie deficit. You sweat, the scale drops, looks like fat loss, right? But it's not physiological fat loss. It's activity-induced weight loss. Your metabolism hasn't changed, your lean body mass hasn't improved, so when you stop running, the weight rebounds. Maybe you can relate to that, maybe it's something you've experienced before. And now you're in a worse spot than you were before, because you've got more body fat, less muscle, lower energy, and you're thinking, what's next? What do I do now? What's the solution? So here's the formula that I coach every dad through. You're going to strength train at least 2 to 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be for long. These can be 30-minute sessions, right? They don't have to be marathon gym sessions. You're not training to be a gym bro or bodybuilder, powerlifter. 2 to 3 30-minute sessions a week. Can be in the gym, can be body weight if that's all you've got, but you get them done. And you focus on compound lifts, progressive overload, and just trying to get stronger over time, okay? They become non-negotiables. You walk daily. Walking is arguably the best form of activity there is. It's low stress, low impact, but it adds up fast. You want to be trying to aim. I like the idea of 8 to 10,000 steps a day, but it really depends on where you're starting from right now. If you're only walking 2,000 steps a day, that's unrealistic, but maybe you can get it up to 3,000, 4,000, then you build, okay? You want to be walking as much as you can. With your diet, you want to be eating for muscle, not just for weight loss. So high protein, moderate carbs, sensible portions, following the 1-3-5 diet that I've covered in previous videos. You don't need to starve yourself. Add in some cardio occasionally. Now, this can be 1 to 2 short conditioning sessions, like on a rower, hill sprints, air bike. Those things are fantastic for cardiovascular health, and you can get a lot done in sort of 10 to 15 minutes. If you want to, you can also add in some longer runs if you enjoy that. If you want to do some longer steady-state cardio, you can do that, but make sure you're covering these basics first, because these are the things that are really going to help you move the needle. You can definitely add in some cardio on top of these things if you have the time. This is how you lose fat and keep it off. Not by outrunning your plate or trying to outrun your bad diet. Not by doing boot camps until your knees give out and you've been sick on the floor. No. If you've been stuck on the hamster cardio wheel for a while, wondering why the weight comes back, it's not about constantly doing more. It's about being more strategic and having a better plan in place that actually leads to long-term fat loss. Get stronger, build muscle, use your training to change the way your body functions, not just how much you sweat. And if you want to add extra cardio, feel free, do it on top of making sure that you're getting stronger and building muscle. Cardio has its place, but strength training is the foundation for changing the way your body looks. Cardio is the icing on the cake. If you are ready to stop spinning your wheels and start building the body that you've wanted for years, just like my client Joel has done, who's dropped 50 pounds over the last couple of years working with me with zero planned cardio. He's just played football on the side because he wanted to. You can hit the link in my bio. You'll find out about my coaching program now, where you can leave a comment here and I'll reply to you. And I'll show you how I structure this with the guys I work with. They are transforming the way their body looks and feels. They're feeling better than ever. They're stronger than ever before, even when they were in their 20s. They've got more energy, more drive, more focus. Yes, if they want to add in cardio, they can, but we build it around strength training first. If you want to find out more, just hit the link and I'll be in touch.